We come to this place for monsters. We come to horror movies to scream, to cringe, to scare. Because we need that. All of us.
That hair-raising feeling we get when the lights begin to dim. And we are taken somewhere we've never been before. Not just entertained, but somehow terrorized together.
Dazzling guts on a huge silver screen. Stabs that I can feel.
Somehow, murder feels so good in a place like this.
Our final girls feel like the best parts of us, and stories feel disturbing and powerful. Because here they are. In horror we trust. What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, folks, it is officially our 1 year anniversary.
Ow, ow!
And so for that, we are going to crack open a lovely beer and give a toast. Ready?
Oh,
cheers, yeah, cheers. We got that on lock.
Happy 1 year.
Happy 1 year.
That's crazy.
I know, it's so wild to think. And the even more ironic part of this whole situation is we started with Scream.
And we're ending. No, it's just kidding.
No, we're not ending with Scream, but coming full circle with another fucking Scream film.
Another year, another Scream.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. My dog is
he whiny?
he's whining at something.
Is he seeing a ghost?
Sometimes I think so. But I'm like, in this little apartment? I mean, it's possible.
Are you seeing one?
Skinamarink. Little. Mags. What?
I think he just wants to say his part on screen.
Yeah.
I think there is a ghost in your fucking apartment, dude.
Please don't do this to me. Please don't do this.
Does he often stare in that corner?
Yeah, but he is kind of afraid of the dresser because sometimes we like bumped it and he gets scared of the noise. So now he just thinks it's like a monster.
Oh.
But he also probably just wants attention.
That too.
You might hear Max tonight, which is, I mean, not unusual for us. And you might hear a chirp as we're talking. Please, I'm so sorry. We are bad, like, just apartment livers.
Tenants?
Dwellers. We're bad tenants, yes. That's the word.
I like apartment dwellers better.
We just haven't changed the batteries. But anyway.
Smoke detectors. That's what you're hearing. But it's okay. We'll prevail past it.
Yeah, it's white noise.
It just adds to the atmosphere.
Now that I pointed it out, it's just like
Is
so
it gonna bother
noticeable.
you?
But no, once we get in the zone, start talking about this movie, this flick, this splatter flick. I don't know. Yeah.
So Scream
6, one of our most beloved, if not between us two, our most beloved series.
Yeah, I think it's one of our most coveted franchises.
Yeah. Which they do nail in the idea of the franchise in this one, which we'll get into.
A lot.
But, yeah, so Scream 6 came out 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Which might be 3 weeks by the time you hear this.
Yes, but it's okay. It's still fairly new. People are still watching it. It's made quite a storm in the box office.
Yes. Which is
huge hit.
Yeah, always great to see horror taking the box office by storm.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. So Scream 6. Yes. I almost just called it Scream 7.
I know, sometimes I get mixed up with the numbers. No.
Just going ahead of the game here. So what were your initial thoughts of this movie? Without getting into spoiler territory quite yet.
I mean, it kind of goes expectations with every Scream movie ever since maybe the second or third one came out, where it's they've already established the rules and it's always someone you know. So that much I knew.
Yeah.
I was really not sure where they were going to go because Scream 5 was so good.
Yeah.
And just like story-wise, I was like, I don't know. And all the stuff with Neve Campbell and her not returning to this installment, which we were also kind of guessing, like, is that true or not?
Yeah, is it a publicity stunt?
Yeah.
Is she really upset?
Yeah. So let's just put a blanket spoiler warning right now, because we will spoil this shit.
Yes.
For sure.
Absolutely.
But Neve is not in it, so sadly not. Yeah, other than that, I wasn't really too sure what to expect.
Honestly, I would say about same. Like, I think we were all hyped up on the Stu train. So there was, like, a little bit of hope. Not necessarily expectation, but hope that it might have gone that direction. It was a little bit of, I don't know how this is going to go with Neve not being in it. Because she's always kind of been the center of the Scream franchise.
Like, I can say when we first heard that news, we were both really upset.
We were devastated.
Yeah, because we do love Neve. Like, she is the heart and soul of the Scream franchise. It all started with her and revolved around her.
Honestly, I would rather, like, see all the OGs die in one Scream film than to not have them come back because of whatever reason.
Yeah,
like,
it's tough.
Yeah.
And, like, there's only so much you can do with whatever contractual things happened.
And not die in real life. I mean, die in the films.
Please clarify. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, like, not saying that it can't go on. Obviously, it has. And, I mean, either way, it's not going to live up. I'm just going to say it. Either way, it's not going to live up to what we had with the first couple or whatnot.
And I know that sounds like toxic Scream fandom, but like when
I'm just being real.
I know. At least we're speaking for our perspective. Yeah. We've grown so attached to this original cast. We're not open to the newer cast, but incorporating the newer cast with the older cast was such a fun kind of take on it, and it was so much fun to watch.
And again, we've loved the shit out of Scream 5.
Yeah. And I know that's really controversial. A lot of people did not like Scream 5.
Wow.
And so I think, honestly, I did not know what to expect out of this. I personally was hoping that it would be on the same level, if not exceed what we saw in Scream 5.
Also, just the idea of taking it to this big metropolitan city.
Yes.
New York.
Yeah. It was kind of giving, like
Jason Takes
Manhattan kind of vibes. And we were hoping the same kind of fun, wild kind of ride.
Yeah. So I'll say that it was an expectation. Yeah. All right. Let's get into it. Let's just say I was a little let down with their use of this city. I thought it wasn't that creative. Except for the subway scene, I loved. I did think that was good.
And the bodega scene.
Yes, and the convenience store.
I think bodega. I think the bodega convenience store was honestly my favorite scene out of the film, because there's a little bit of like a wild card thrown in there with Ghostface picking up the gun.
Yeah.
Because we don't see Ghostface use anything but a knife. So to see that kind of, I don't even want to call it a twist, but to see that like little element thrown in there kind of makes it fresh, and it kind of makes it new, and it kind of, it lends itself from becoming stale, and Ghostface just becoming like this repeated unknown like kind of person up until the end. So it just, I don't know, it added like a thrill to it where I know sitting in the theater I was like, what the fuck, when I saw him pick it up, and I was like, he's not gonna shoot someone, and he fucking does.
Yeah, like, because we have had Ghostfaces use a gun, but that's not till the end, where they're basically revealing themselves and outside of the costume already. Yeah. So it's kind of like just a person using a gun. Yeah. So this felt different.
It felt different.
Felt a level up. Yeah. Killing-wise.
I will say that while Ghostface is masked, I don't want to call him Ghostface is a lot more vicious this film. Yeah. But I don't know if it was really necessarily needed. It was fun to see, and it made some of the chases feel a little more risky, and there were a lot more stakes. Yeah. But overall, I kind of would have liked to see a little bit more of the plot flushed out as opposed to just throwing in a more vicious Ghostface.
I see.
Because I feel like the movie is kind of heavily relying on that.
Which it kind of fucks with me because, like, sometimes, or when I'm thinking about the idea of the movie and it being like, oh, now this is a franchise. It's part of a franchise. The kills are bigger. Like, Can I put this out there right now? Yeah.
The way that they say that so much in the last two movies is driving me fucking crazy. I'm like, I get it. Like, we know we're in a franchise at this point. Like, it's 6 movies on. It's been a franchise since 4. Like, I just want them to stop saying that to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like, Scream is self-aware, but, like, the original Screams, they're not, like, slap it in your face. This is what it is.
Yeah.
And it was fun in 5. Because, you know, it is, I guess, I don't know, it's a more modern self-referential. So it's like... Really?
I feel like it was needed in 5, though, because it was kind of taking on new tropes.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but they did it very subtly. This movie, I feel like, wasn't...
Yeah, I mean, I really did like some of Mindy's...
Banter?
Yeah, banter.
Absolutely.
And especially her performance. She's really good. Like, just how she delivers it is, like, flawless, and I just think she's really fun and funny.
I liked her back and forth scene with Hayden.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I wish I had more of it. I kind of want to give them excuses, which maybe I shouldn't, but just because the idea of an ongoing franchise where the movies kind of get a little who cares or whatever, a little like flippant and just having fun. So sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, you know, it's a franchise. But I guess I do expect more in a Scream movie because they were so smart, like, from inception, you know?
Absolutely.
So, you want to start with the cold opening?
Yes. That's just what I was about to get to.
Which the Scream movies are obviously iconic for.
Yeah. I really wanted to like it. I was really hopeful, but overall, it just wasn't very impactful for me. I'm not so sure I liked the idea of somebody not being Ghostface wearing the mask. That felt very weird and disjointed for me. And the whole time I wanted to yell at this character. And it just felt very strange just because Scream movies are very self-aware. So to have a woman like completely disregard all safety and like walk into an alley, it just felt very unscream-like.
Well, I mean, because they make fun of the idea that, you know, you have people doing obviously dumb things, but then in Scream they do those same things.
I mean, which I get, but I just don't feel like it hit for me. It just felt very like it felt very planned. If that's the right way to say it. Like, you knew what the lead up was going to be. She was sitting in the bar. You knew that this guy was lost. You knew she was going to go outside and something was going to happen. And I think that kind of took the mystery out of the opening. And then I think they relied too hard on, oh, this is the Ghostface, but it's not Ghostface. And that just didn't work for me because we immediately know Ghostface doesn't talk. This guy talked.
Yeah, I mean, like, they succeeded in throwing me off.
Yes.
Like, I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck was happening? But I don't know if it was necessarily in an enjoying way. I was just very confused. And then there was one line that he made that I thought the film was going to take off in a very fucking different direction. And he was like, who gives a fuck about movies?
They do repeat that throughout the film, like, who gives a fuck about the movies?
Yeah, but it didn't have, like, any tie-in to that line necessarily. Like, any follow-through with it that really, really grasped on it. And the way that they said it and repeated it so much, I thought it was going to be, like, a really... I don't know. I thought... I don't know. It could have gone so many different directions with that line. It could have... But it just didn't... Yeah, it didn't follow through the way that I guess I expected it to. I'm not sure, but it just, I don't feel like it aligned. It was just thrown out there, which, yeah, for me, it was just like, oh, okay, then why say that?
Who gives a fuck about the movies? I was thinking, like, the previous movies in the franchise and maybe, like...
But that's so disrespectful.
Well, not in that way, but, like, I guess, like, legacy movies, too, and, like, the legacy movies we're getting now, you bring back the legacy character and then they die. And, like, yeah, Dewey died in the last one.
Yeah.
But this one, nobody died. Nobody of the core group died, so maybe that was like, oh, who gives a fuck? We don't have to follow that.
Which also really bothered me, because they were like, oh, it's a subversion. Like, nobody died. But it was like, these characters clearly should have died with the way that they were mutilated by Ghostface. Which was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, this girl got stabbed in the stomach. What's his face? Her brother?
Yeah.
Was, like, mutilated and stabbed, which I know was referential to Dewey. But he was, like, mutilated, and it was very expecting for them to die. And then for them not to die, it was just kind of like, okay, but...
Right. Yeah, I get that.
I don't think it really made a statement. It was just kind of like, okay.
I see. Because I think that's all I was thinking, that we... who cares about the movies? And maybe also in reference to, like, because Richie, his whole thing was like, stay true to the movies. I'm gonna make my own movie to stay true to whatever. So I guess it's a little dig at that. But I get it. Yeah, it didn't hit.
It didn't hit the way I think they were hoping for it to hit. But it was such a brilliant line.
It was a brilliant line.
And I really wish they would have pushed with that sense a little harder. Yeah. And I think it would have been really cool.
I mean, like, you know, it's easy. Obviously, it's easy to say that as an audience member. Like, I don't really know what I would have done. I'm not Richie. I'm not gonna be like, this is how I would have made it, or like, this is what's true to the franchise or anything. But yeah, you can only
1,000%. And I'm just saying this as a viewer who loves the films. Like, I'm not knocking them on their creative decision, but I'm merely saying that it just didn't hit for me personally.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can agree with that. Yeah. And I think overall we had a good time watching. It was very enjoyable to watch. Yeah. It's not saying it's a bad movie.
It had its really, really good moments. Again, I will go back to the bodega scene. Yeah. Like, that was just it was so good. Watching them, like, weave through the aisles and like it was good, and there was tension, and there was like just kind of guttural fear in that moment. Like, are these two gonna make it out? And of course they do. Because Tara and Sam are badasses. And
I mean, also, I think I might retract what I said before about not utilizing the New York landscape as well. I do think they, like, the subway, that's obviously crucial to, like, a New York landscape, and I thought they did that perfectly. The convenience store being where all these people are. And even when, like, they had people across the way from each other looking at each other through the window. Sam's boy toy across the way, and the whole ladder sequence was cool and like a good idea between like what the living situation in New York is like. So that is cool. And I guess, and they even go to like the park, Central Park, and they kind of have a callback to when Randy died, and when they're like taking the call in the park, which they make reference to. So, like, they do hit the points of the New York City, so maybe I was a bit harsh. I think I am tying it mostly to the cold opening. That the cold opening
the cold opening more
creatively than just having someone in a bar immediately go to
an alley.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why I'm so bitter about that cold open is honestly because look at all of the cold opens we've gotten up until this point and how influential they've been to the screen films.
Right.
Yeah. And I just don't feel like this one had enough of a standing to like really stand itself out from the other Scream films. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
it threw me off.
It threw me off a little, but I was still in for the ride at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess bringing back Herbie.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna sound like such a hater now, and I hate it because I love her.
I bet you're gonna be like, well, can you cut this out?
No, not at all. I love Hayden. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, she's absolutely amazing, but her character in this movie was not needed.
Right. I think they could have given her more. And I thought it was weird that she just happened to be an FBI agent. Was a little
like,
too...
What?
She's like a... Well, like, I do like how Gail was like, you're a child.
Yeah, that was great, because that's what we were all thinking. But I think like it would have been more convincing if she came in as like a cop or if she was FBI in training or something. But like, you're telling me
glam ass FBI.
An FBI agent was dumb enough to lock herself into this room at the end with a bunch of kids. Like, I don't. And her acting,
they kind of.
I don't know if it was meant to be goofy. I don't know, but it was just, it threw me off.
I don't think it was that bad. I know you felt it was.
It was just corny.
Okay.
I don't think it was bad. It was corny. I was like, what is going on?
I liked all her moments where she was rolling her eyes at, I mean, her and Gail, the banter there.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know what was going on there. And I was just like, what is happening?
I guess I just mostly wish she had a bit more to do, and some things were a bit too
maybe that's why it came off as corny, because she just didn't have enough to work with.
And like, she just, you know, her thing as an FBI agent was like, oh, I can trace a call. And that's kind of the only utilization of it. Yeah. Like, I can trace a call in 15 seconds.
And then for like, the eventual killer to be like, oh, well, she has, you know, she's not very mentally stable. Watch out for her. Like, I feel like she was just kind of not really a...
Yeah, like
she's an afterthought almost.
Yeah. Like,
which is like, why bring her back for that?
Yeah. But not in the most effective way.
It was weird seeing Kirby being just such like such a side character when she played such an important role in 4.
True.
I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Sense. It felt like she was just thrown in.
Right.
And I don't know, I just wanted to see more out of Kirby. Kirby was a fan favorite. Yeah, like, why put her in if you're just gonna like have her say 3 lines, you know?
I see.
Yeah. But I still did enjoy seeing her in the film regardless. I think everyone was like, oh, you know, when we saw her.
Totally.
Everyone. I mean, our group of like 10.
Yeah. We freaking Christine rented out a private theater screening for this.
Yes.
Special. Make it special. And I did bring a couple scream masks.
We got some cool photos. Maybe we'll post some. I did scare a friend of ours. Yeah. I mean, you can't not do it. And we weren't harming anyone. It was our theater. It's our friends.
You know what I would have liked to see in the New York landscape is like a Ghostface scurrying around being devious.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
First one where he's like in the bushes.
Yeah.
Passing.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Or in the convenience. In the grocery store, in the like reflection.
Yeah.
Just those little slinky moments, which I don't think they repeat on any of them.
No. But I will honestly say I kind of like how they're taking a more serious tone with Ghostface.
Oh, totally.
And it's getting like a little more mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to the 5th one, which like, yes, in the 6th one, Ghostface is fucking brutal. Like, it's probably the goriest we've seen it.
Yeah.
But I think in the 5th one, it was more vicious, or like
it just felt more emotional. I think
it was more personal.
Yeah, it was more personal.
I mean, the kills are so intimate. Dare I say? But like, when it's like slow and they're struggling with the knife, and then Ghostface would like pound it down like a fucking hammer and a nail.
And this was like quick, like stab,
which is also vicious, but in a different way. The other one just felt more personal and like gut wrenching.
Did you like?
I do like the fast stabs though.
Yeah. Did you like the whole concept of Sam might be the killer herself kind of theme that they were trying to use throughout the movie?
I did like it, at least, you know, as just like a possibility. Mm-hmm. Especially, like, I think it's natural being Billy's daughter to think that. And especially I like the use of like the modern age social media.
Same.
Because like, that would fucking happen. Like, people would make all these conspiracy theories, the use of Reddit, and everything was very smart in this movie, and I think added a good layer.
I really enjoyed it too. I liked it a lot. I will say I'm done with the Billy flashbacks.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we weren't fans of it in the 5th one, and they continue it in this one. And again, as much as we love to see Skeet Ulrich,
but they used it less in this movie. Yeah. And I appreciate that.
I just think it's really just unnecessary to use a reflection like, okay, I guess this is her mind talking, like making this up to herself. Like, she's just kind of, it's her subconscious talking to herself. But like, we don't need to see it. It's just kind of corny.
She's already kind of like an emotional character where you can see that battle going on within her head and her face.
Yeah, when she looks at the reflection of herself in the case of Billy's old costume, that's all you needed. That was
great.
Even
by the way,
little hand to the glass, I'm fine with. And
I really liked that scene though, where she was looking at Billy's costume in the case, and she was really having a moment of self-reflection. Yeah. That was really brilliantly done, and I liked that a lot. And I liked the whole museum of costumes. I think it was cool. Really, really fucking cool.
And dare I say, I wish I had that room.
Right? But the whole idea of how it got there blows my mind. Like, was I wrong in thinking that it was Richie's collection?
It is, it's Richie's collection, because the killer,
we'll get there.
Says that. It was really fun for fans of Scream to see like all the costumes from all the killers and just different characters, and the little twang in your heart when you see Dewey's badge,
and they played his music.
God, whenever his fucking theme comes on, we just lose it. Like, I started tearing up again. And like when Gail was on the phone with Ghostface, which interesting point that they do say it's the first time Gail has talked to Ghostface on the phone. Yeah. Which apparently Ghostface did call her in Scream 2, but Randy picked up.
Yep.
Boom, boom. Yeah. Which, cool little thing, but the stuff that he says about Dewey and her reaction, I was like,
it's heartbreaking.
And then you see she had the same picture that Dewey had of them together. Yeah. I don't know. Gail and Dewey might be my favorite relationship in any movie, and especially horror movie.
Yeah.
Just seeing them throughout the first 3 and the relationship grow and all the banter. Dude.
No, I hear it.
It's just taking me back to when we bawled in Scream 5.
I think we're probably the only people crying too.
So good.
Love it. So but and then as we get to the ending, did you
the killer
okay. Plural. First, I want to ask, were you able to guess who the killer was? And it's okay, be honest.
No. I gotta say, I feel really dumb looking back at it, because it's very obvious, and they practically tell you, which is always kind of a thing in the movies. Like, and I knew it was going to be someone they knew. Like, I knew it was going to be someone, obviously, that they showed and was in the group. But I just kept playing back and forth. I was like, oh, it could be this, blah, 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 which I guess you guys succeeded. But looking back at it, I'm like, oh, fucking duh. But you picked out the primary one, right?
So I immediately picked out the cop.
Which is, Adam said he also.
Yeah. Immediately was like, this guy's fishy.
Because...
And then, he stood out. Like, and he was just, with the things that he was saying, and
he happened to pull their case with his daughter. Was related
it was
to...
like, okay, so your daughter just so happens to be living with the girls, and you pulled the case. Mm-hmm. Like, no, also, something's weird here.
With like Sam's ID being found at the first crime scene of the 2 Ghostfaces apartment.
Yeah.
How else could it get there?
Yeah.
I mean, like, sure, like a Ghostface that wasn't him potentially, but he has the easiest access.
Yeah. It was just, I don't know. I easily was just like, you're suspicious. Yeah. And then towards, I want to say midway through the movie, I started picking up on how closely related it was to Scream 2. And I started to piece it together. And I was like, well, Scream 5 was very referential to Scream 1.
Especially this one's with the killers. Yeah. The love interest.
Yep. I was like, this is going to be Scream 2.
Which, just going back to Scream 5, it being the love interest like Billy.
Yeah.
But Richie and his girlfriend, so Stu, they were actually, no. Lovers? No, I'm just kidding.
But, I was like...
What moments made you think of Scream 2 where you started piecing that together?
Honestly, I can't tell you off the top of my head right now. There's still some like blind spots. I would have to watch the movie again.
Right.
But there was a particular point that I'm trying to nail, And, oh, I think it was when they were in Central Park.
Oh, yeah.
And when they were making a lot of references to Dewey, I was like, this is Scream 2. Dewey? Or Randy, excuse me. Yeah, when they were making references to Randy with the van and everything, I was like, this is fucking Scream 2. And then that's when I got even more suspicious of the cop. Mm-hmm. But I just didn't know exactly who the other people were going to be. Like, I did not pick out his 2 kids. Like, I didn't.
And that his kids were 2 people in the group who we didn't know were related.
I did think that, what's his name? Ethan was fucking weird. I was like, what's up with this kid? But I didn't think he was one of the killers, per se. I was just kind of like, what's up with him?
They really throw you off
the girl,
in the subway scene because...
Was it Quinn?
Oh, yeah, Quinn. The sister. Yeah.
Quinn, I just thought, honestly, died.
Yeah, she gets killed. And, it looks convincing. But I will say, now that I look back at it, especially I watched it a second time, they don't show her actually getting killed. They just have the pictures. So now it seems like, well, duh. They usually always show, the kill.
But I was convinced she just died. I was like, oh, she's like
easy.
Beginning throwaway character. Yeah. Like, whatever.
the sexually promiscuous.
Yeah. And the people that are always closest to the main characters always kind of fall off first. Right. So, or not closest, but like the new characters that are a part of the group are kind of always the ones to fall off first.
I mean, Scream 2, her roommate.
Yeah.
Got.
Again,
boom,
another reference. So I picked it up fairly early. I just didn't know how they were all going to tie it in. Yeah. And then the ending happened. Yeah, the ending, I'm not so on board with it. It just felt very odd for the characters to be so willing to go through with that ending, considering all the stuff they have been through, like Sam specifically in the previous film, to be so willing to go into this locked room and trust everyone that is there, considering her own boyfriend was the killer in the previous film.
When they know it's gonna be someone they
close to them, with all of Mindy's like commentary on who it could be next. Like, I don't understand why they were all so willing to do this, and why they were so easily convinced that this was a good idea.
Yeah, totally.
And then, and then all this self-referential stuff, again, was a little too much of an in-your-face moment with the cops slobbering all over the place, like Billy. And
like Stu.
Yeah, like Billy, like Stu.
I'm
getting
Billy
so confused with all the names. Billy slobbering.
There's been a lot. I mean, 9 Ghostfaces.
I know.
Now. But
with Stu slobbering all over the place, and then with the TV again.
I mean, each family member does a little like Stu impression.
Yeah.
You get Ethan saying, "I've always wanted to stick something in you, Tara," which is like, "I've always had a thing for you, Sid."
Yeah.
But I did not like that line. I'm sorry. I'm just like, it sounds gross.
Yeah.
It just...
Yeah. You don't need to stick anything in anyone, bro.
Yeah. But, and then
I remember Quinn getting kind of crazy, too.
Which, like, what's her name? I think it was Amber.
Yeah, Amber did the same thing.
Mm-hmm. But this one was like, all 3 were doing like a little Stu impression, just a little bit.
It was like, if you're gonna give us a Stu impression, give us fucking Stu.
Which, maybe we're reading too much into it. Maybe they didn't intend for that, but it just felt like it. But then you get the death, which I did like. It was fun. I did like the TV. It was like a fun little, you have the museum there. It makes sense to use something
I get it. I totally get it. I just think it was all of the references were just too in your face in this film. Okay. It almost was like they were referencing these movies for like people that have never seen the previous films before. And I feel like all the Scream fans that were here for Scream 6 for the most part are people that are beloved fans that have watched them all the way through, that are very familiar with these things that have happened. And I don't think it should have been so on the nose.
Hitting you over the head.
Where previous films have kind of given odes to the previous films, but it was a lot more subtle. These were just too on the nose.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Not to say I didn't like them, but it was just a little too much.
Yeah, that makes sense, for sure.
Yeah.
I did like the relationship between Sam and Tara throughout this one, and how it developed, and the whole let me go. No, it felt real.
Yeah.
And it felt like a strong development of their relationship.
And their characters.
Yeah, I did like the climax where, you know, they're holding on to each other, which in the trailer I was like, oh god, I was for sure, I thought Tara was gonna die.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I did like their final kills of the killers.
Yeah.
Again, like, Sam goes fucking... I mean, okay, I did like she dons the Ghostface outfit, which I think Jenna Ortega. Tara did in Scream 5. She put on the Ghostface.
I think
in
so.
the end.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But I like how she put on, it was her dad's.
Yeah, got his knife and everything. Chad's supposed death, man. So, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, let's go back a few steps. But like,
we're all over the place. I'm sorry.
But yeah. So before the killers are revealed, when they're in this locked room, this shrine, and, you know, they're having their moment, and then the ghost faces start popping out everywhere. So Chad has, you know, he's developing his relationship with Tara, and it's cutesy, and, like, they have a tender moment, and then Ghostface comes out. I thought they were cute.
I thought it was so just unnecessary.
I mean, like, you know, Sydney has her tender moments with her boyfriend.
I thought that was unnecessary, too. He was so goofy.
Oh, Chad?
Chad. No, not Chad. Sam and her boyfriend.
Oh no, I was talking about like Sid and her previous. She
never
has
mind.
Her relationship.
No, I was speaking in reference to to Tara and
Sam and her. Yeah, Sam
oh my god,
and her boyfriend.
we can't.
Sorry,
can we back
Sam,
up?
Sid, Tara.
Okay. Sam and her boyfriend were he was just a little hokey.
He was,
and it was too much like knight in shining armor trying to save them, and I was like, boy.
Yeah.
He was goofy.
Yeah. I mean, I like Tara's because it just felt more genuine.
It was a little
it took me back to like Sydney with her relationships, you know, both. Well, let's just forget Billy. But, you know.
But with the college guy?
Yeah.
Oh God, what is his name?
He's a prominent actor too. Jerry O'Connell? Is that his name?
I think it is.
Jerry O'Connell. What the fuck is his name in the movie?
I forget. You know what? No, I take that back. Because come to think of it, like Sydney and his relationship was really fucking cheesy with him.
The standing number.
Standing on the table singing.
I still love it, man. And I love
so goofy.
Mickey's little like, he's like clapping and like getting the crowd to go. Yeah. I love that scene. It was a little like 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so, you know.
Off on another tangent.
You get some cheese in the Scream movies. Yeah. But anyway, so Tara and Chad have their tender moment, then the ghost faces start popping out.
Yeah.
And Chad...
I feel like they're making him out to be like the new Dewey with how many times he's been fucking mutilated.
My God, I know. Yeah, I mean, they do a direct reference, basically. But he gets held up with one ghost face, and then out of nowhere, second ghost face comes in, and then they both hold him down, and they just both start stabbing him all over, and he's just like staring at Tara saying, "Go." But I was like, "Fuck!" He just brutal. It made me sad.
Fucking tag team, dude.
And I do like the fast stabs because it is really brutal, and like they show you it all. Like, but they don't cut away.
How did he survive that?
I know that was basically just like a reference to Dewey, because Dewey got not stabbed that many times.
Not that many times.
He did get stabbed a lot in Scream 2, and you thought he was dead, and then they wheel him out on the gurney, which they do with Chad.
Which
exactly.
I get. Yeah.
But anyway, I get your point with it. But I was like, oh fuck, just that scene. But I did really like the two ghost faces turning around and both doing the knife.
A wipe?
The knife wipe.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then going after that, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were just fucking fast in this movie. Yeah. Ghostface was fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, you know, I had a lot of fun watching. But yeah, it was like, overall, story-wise, there's some letdowns for sure. Absolutely
100% will say this movie was very fun to watch. It was not a not fun movie. Yeah. It was entertaining. It had good flow. Not once was I checking the time to be like, is this over yet?
Right.
Like, it had a very good pace to it.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it was one that I will rewatch that is very high on my Scream list.
Right.
Yeah.
And I did watch it a second time, and I think I did enjoy it even more. I guess more the second time I watched it, because I guess I didn't put that much stake into like who is it, what's gonna happen.
Which I think I need to do one more time to see how I feel about it.
It's so like fun, and I would include it in the like Screamathon.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But like, no, I totally get your point, and I pretty much agree.
Yeah, I think in the whole kind of lexicon of Scream films, it fits. It's okay. It's a fun watch. It's not a bad film. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's meh. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I don't think I definitively said on here, but with the killer reveal and that being an ode or following the steps of Scream 2 and it being the parent of the last killer. So Nancy Loomis being Billy Loomis's mom. Oh, yeah. She becomes the new killer. So you get Richie from Scream 5, his dad and brother and sister are the killers and enacting their revenge.
Yeah. So I kind of like, in a sense, how they're tying it together like that. I just wish it wasn't... I don't know. I was just expecting, like, a little more fire. And it just felt a little dull.
I see.
Yeah. But it was still a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching it. I am very excited to see what they have in store for Scream 7, even though...
I really have no idea what the fuck they're going to do.
Okay, so can we talk about theories?
An idea.
I have a really
strong
good theory
idea
that I think could be a very strong possibility.
Yeah.
So everyone has been talking about how they really wanted Stu in this film, and it didn't happen. But I think...
we've been wanting him since Scream 5.
I know. But I think we're going to kind of maybe get Stu family in the 7th one. So if they're going along with the route of the previous Scream films, Scream 3...
which is a wild card.
Very much a wild card. So I'm interested to see how this plays out if they follow along. But Scream 3... Spoiler for Scream 3 if you haven't seen it. The killer is Sydney's half-brother?
Long lost half-brother.
Long lost half-brother.
Yeah. Who comes out of nowhere. And
comes out of left field. We have no fucking idea that this is her brother. And it was kind of like a what the fuck moment.
And he's like jealous that Sydney got all the spotlight and love.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he was forgotten.
So I think... Okay, going back to Scream 5, remember Kyle Gallner's character and how he was Stu Macher's nephew.
Yeah, which I had forgot until you brought it up.
So Stu Macher had a sister named Leslie Macher that they briefly talked about in Scream 5. And it was a very weird way for them to bring it up where they specifically said her name. Because they easily could have stated that Kyle Gallner, I forget his name in the film, dies because and they could have explained him as Stu's nephew. They didn't need to bring up her name. So and everything means something in these fucking movies. That's
fucking true.
So what I'm thinking is it's not actually a sibling related to Sam and Tara. I think it's going to be a sibling related to the original killers.
You sound so convincing right now.
So I think it's going to be Leslie Macher coming back to avenge her fucking son that died.
True Scream fan over here,
to avenge not only her son that died, but to avenge her brother that died. And I think she's going to come and try to put an end to all of it. And I think that's going to be over with the Scream series. She's going to fucking murk everyone.
Because then you get the like kind of parallels between like her and her family's stigma and Sam and her family's stigma.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Place your bets.
Place your bets. Convinced. And this took me... I was watching Scream 5, and I was thinking about how Scream 7 was going to go, and we had had that discussion that it's going to have to be a sibling.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And so while watching Scream 5, I remembered the part where they're talking about Leslie Mocker, and I was like, oh my fucking God. Light bulb moment.
Yeah, that sounds strong.
I don't know if she's gonna come back with Stu, which would be fucking amazing if they threw us off with the 2 killers instead of 1, and it was Stu and Leslie.
Whoa.
Which would be fucking a way to do it.
Guys, Matthew Lillard is still in his prime.
Yeah. Let's bring him back. It's okay. Even if he's aged a little bit, it could be like he was locked up. She fucking got him out. Mm-hmm. She, like, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Like, that sounds like there'll be a lost opportunity if they don't.
If they don't do it, I think they'd be really bummed. If it turned out to be really like fucking Sam's stepbrother from Billy, like, I'd be like, the fuck is this shit? I'm really gunning for it. Yeah. I'm gunning for it.
Excuse the motorcycle.
Yeah, I am just kidding, guys. I'm excited to see whatever the case may be in Scream 7. I would be just as excited if it wasn't that, if Stu just came back, if it was somebody completely different.
Radio silence, get her in there.
But
I'm just kidding.
Leslie Mocker, guys. Leslie Mocker.
What are we, Richie? I'm just kidding.
I guess so.
We're not being toxic about it, okay? We're just being wishful thinkers.
Yeah. But that's my theory. Did you have
that sounds dope. No, I have no fucking clue, man. Watch, it's like us, like, because it sounds like Billy was fucking around on Sid.
I know.
It's like he has another child that's unrelated, but he's technically a sibling. No. That sounds strong. I'm on board with that. Place your bets.
Place your bets. Or if you guys have other theories, please hit us up on our socials and tell us what your theories could be, because I would be very curious.
Fuck yeah.
Or, I mean, they could go back to their original plan that they were going to do for Scream 3. I think it was Scream 3, or was it Scream 2? Where Stu Mocker was going to be alive and in jail. And he was going to be directing a whole bunch of high school students from jail to do his biddings for him. But they decided to ixnay that idea because of Columbine.
Yeah. Because you could kind of see that. I mean, just seeing stuff with, like, the Dahmer series that came out and people kind of, like, sympathizing with Dahmer. I mean, that's been a thing throughout history with serial killers. People have always, like, written them in jail and, like, married them. Yeah. Anyway.
Fucking weird.
Could be a thing. Yeah. But I think that sibling one, that falls in line with the pattern that we're seeing.
Although it would be really cool to see a bunch of culty Ghostface and see like fucking Stu Mocker like sending out like little fucking mail to everybody.
There was a Halloween movie. Which one is it? 6 or some shit?
It
like
was 6, I think.
Bruh, with the some weird ass shit. These franchises get fucking weird. So let's get Ghostface in space. Or in hell. No, I'm just kidding.
Ghostface in hell would be epic.
And then we'll get a Ghostface versus who? Who would you pair with Ghostface?
Oh, that's a good question.
Who would you want to see Ghostface versus?
I don't know.
It has to be like someone in the same, like on the par. Who the fuck is there?
Who is on par with Ghostface?
Versus Jason. Thinking of slashers. Computing. Candyman. I'm just kidding.
I know, all I was thinking of was fucking Hatchet.
I was thinking of Hatchet too. Fucking it's the random.
Could you imagine?
Ever.
Victor Crowley and fucking Ghostface.
Victor Crowley would tear him the fuck apart.
Oh my god, Ghostface doesn't stand a chance.
He doesn't stand a chance to maybe a lot.
I know. Okay.
A lot of them are like superhuman.
Could you imagine a superhuman Ghostface?
Yeah. What, Happy Death Day?
The baby. I'm curious now. Wait.
I know. I'm looking up.
I know. I'm looking
slashers.
Okay, I haven't seen these movies, but hear me out. Ghostface versus Art the Clown.
Ooh, I still think Art the Clown would fuck him up.
Do you really? I haven't seen those movies.
But it is
I don't know, but he is a modern slasher.
It is more on the part too, because he's based in like just like reality, like a twisted serial killer. But he's just like super creative with his kills.
Tell us, who do you think would win?
I think Art.
Yeah. I haven't seen the movie,
is fucking clumsy.
You're not lying. You're not lying. You're not lying.
Yeah, round 1, guys. Send us your thoughts.
I don't even know who else
Slashers.
could go up against.
I'm just looking at
Fucking Pinhead.
the fucking metaphysical ass, like just
Ghostface should die again.
Strip off his robe. It's like really sexual. BDSM, we could work that in.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of fans out there that would be down for that.
Yeah. Pennywise.
Oh my goodness.
Clowns.
What?
Leatherface? Leatherface? Who do you want to see Leatherface verse? Hatchet? Victor Crowley?
Victor Crowley, for sure.
To fucking
Battle of the Backwoods.
Oh my god! Make it happen! Make it happen! That's the perfect title.
Adam Green, let's go!
That's the perfect title. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Battle of the Backwoods! That's so funny.
Oh man.
Chucky! But Ghostface versus Chucky.
That'd be funny.
They both have some like
Goofy comedy moments.
No, everyone wants Chucky and Annabelle.
Yeah. Or now Megan has tried to
Oh yeah.
make her presence known.
But anyway,
Anyways, that was fun. But
that was cool. Cool to think about. All the possibilities.
oh man.
Yeah. I mean, go watch it, man.
Yeah, go watch it.
Have a fun time. Max says, go fucking watch it.
Max is like, fuck yeah, Ghostface.
Ghostface is here. Shing!
So, last but finally not least, should we rank the Scream films up until Scream
as
6?
of now? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me,
Yes.
I think I would put Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 5,
Shing.
Scream 4,
Shing.
Scream 6, and then Scream 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
surprising.
I thought about it, and I really do not like the plot of Scream 3. Like, there are moments that I enjoy, but overall, I've, like, thought about it, and that's the one of the franchise that I don't rewatch very often. I think it's fun, and it's still a great film.
Yeah.
I take it back.
Yeah, the
I take it
fucking
back.
story
3
is
and 6 are interchangeable for me. Sometimes I'm like, I like Scream 3. Sometimes I'm like, I don't. Sometimes I think I really like Scream 6. Sometimes I'm like, no, I don't like it. So I think those are interchangeable. But as of today, that's my list.
I would do the exact same.
Yeah.
6 and 3 are very interchangeable for me. Part of me wants to be like 3 above 6, a little bit more, but honestly, they are. Thinking back and watching 6 a second time, I would say they're interchangeable. And I was also kind of between 5 and 4. Should 5 be above 4? But it does because it has more emotional impact with me.
And I find myself out of rewatching the Scream movies, I'm always going back to watching Scream 1 and Scream 5.
Nice.
Those have been like my new like Scream comfort films.
Yeah.
And
like, I don't know, 3... It is just mostly coming from a place of nostalgia, because I will acknowledge that the story is weaker.
Yeah.
It is fucking random.
And I really...
Lots of comedy.
Yeah. I really had to put that into perspective, too, when I was thinking about this list. I'm like, do I actually really, really like Scream 3? Or is it just nostalgia for me? I know. And am I not attached to Scream 6 because it is newer? Or would I like it a couple years down the line? And so that's why I'm back and forth with those two.
I do like Scream 3's opening more.
100%.
Cotton Weary Baby.
Yeah. His girlfriend's name is Christine.
Boom, boom! I think Gail has some wonderful moments in it. And I love Parker Posey. And so them together. I did like the idea of just like having this cast with them throughout. Although it's very cheap. It's so 90s. Or like late 90s.
It gets a little too much sometimes.
It does, for sure. And like, the killer reveal is like, what?
I do like the reveal. I think it was so out of left field that it fucking worked.
Yeah. I mean, I did enjoy it. I like to rewatch it. And I like Sydney's whole battle with him at the end. And I mean, when they hold hands. It's
yeah,
a little cheese,
but it was a cute moment.
Yeah, it was. And Scream 3 brought me some of the most traumatizing moments from the franchise, which is fucking Maureen's haunting ass ghost. That one got me. I used to be scared, and I think, yeah, it was that one. But when her ghost, she's napping, and her ghost shows up at the window, she's like, Sydney, with like the layered voice effect.
Yeah.
And then when she's, it's Roman, but in the sheet covered in blood at the crime scene.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
It was just creepy.
Can I ask you what your favorite cold open out of all of the movies are? While you think about it, I'll tell you mine.
Mine's 2.
I was going to say that,
Yeah.
I really like just the idea of a movie theater because post, the Dark Knight incident, which so sad, that was kind of like a place where I felt like it was an extension of your home, is the movies. Everybody goes to the movies. It's a daily activity. Yeah. Nobody really thinks that they're going to be unsafe in the theater. And so to see that in Scream 2 in such a rowdy theater, which was very plausible, very realistic, and it was fucking horrifying.
And it's terrible that I really wanted to be in that theater.
Me too.
Me too. I was like, this is the most animated crowd. They have all the costumes. It's so fun.
Well, I feel like we got a little piece of that when we were screening this movie. Maybe not to that full extent, but we got the jeering, the laughing, the kind of, Yeah.
And the next thing close to that, which isn't the cold open, but in Scream 4, when they do the Stab-a-thon, me and Christine just want to host. We want to do a fucking Scream-a-thon just like that. So bad.
Yeah.
I want it to be in a fucking barn or some isolated place that we just make,
just
into
go
ours.
Freddy versus Jason in a cornfield.
Yeah. That would be so fun. Or, and then we would also do a night where we do Freddy versus Jason in a fucking cornfield.
It'd be so much fun, dude. I really want to do that. I think it'd be very fun.
Yeah. But cheers to the Scream series. Still my most beloved.
And still going strong.
Yeah,
man.
it is exciting to see, and I am excited to see what comes next.
I think Wes Craven would be proud of where his movies have, gone up until this point. I really do.
Oh, God.
Well, here's to 1 year.
Yes.
Also, and here's to more Scream films.
Yes, to more Scream films. Congrats, Radio Silence.
Hey, Carissa.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm gonna grab another beer. You want one?
Fuck yeah.
I'll be right back.